Big story that we're looking at on the NFL side is Jim Harbaugh and where he's going to be next year. What are you hearing?
Well, we know that Tennessee won the draft lottery last night, as much as it is, and now we wait to see who wins the Jim Harbaugh lottery, because clearly he'll be moving on from San Francisco, and the question is, where does he wind up? And I still continue to believe, when you speak to most people, that most people think he will wind up in the NFL, not at the University of Michigan, which would love to hire him as its head coach. But if Jim Harbaugh were going to go to Michigan, why hasn't he gone already? I think there's some skepticism about any reported offer he may or may not have received from that school that's out there. Jim Harbaugh will be moving on. He'll be in demand in the NFL. A team like the Oakland Raiders would love to have Jim Harbaugh. There's a question about whether a team like the Chicago Bears would make a move for Jim Harbaugh, but there'll be no shortage of teams that go after Jim Harbaugh, and any team that is making a head coaching change this offseason in the coming weeks will certainly look at Jim Harbaugh if he's available, and the thinking continues to be that he will stay in the NFL because that's what he wants to do.
Okay, Adam, thanks. Herm and then Mark, pick the best landing spot for Jim.
I would say the Oakland Raiders. His wife loves living on the West Coast. It's a team that has a young quarterback. And I would hope if you're the 49ers, we hear a lot what's going on right now. Do the right thing by your coach. That would help the 49ers image as well. I mean, there's been a lot of, we hear the animosity, but do the right thing for your coach. Your organization is going to survive it. You're going to get another head coach in there if you decide to trade him. They probably would like to trade him rather than this. To flat fire him because they get something for him.
Well, but on the trade note, if they send him to a team he doesn't want to go to, he can say, I'm not going, and sit out, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, and that's why you don't want to make this thing complicated. You want to make it as smooth as you can.
So they need to find common ground.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's simple. And I agree with Coach. I think the Oakland Raiders make the most sense, but I'm almost certain that he will coach in the National Football League. That's the one thing.
Not Michigan.
Yeah, I just don't see him going back to college. I think he has something to prove. He almost won a Super Bowl as a player. Yep. He hasn't won a Super Bowl as a coach. I think that's really important to him. One other little bit, Tennessee Titans have one of the top 2 picks.
Yes.
But Tampa Bay, if they lose both games, still could get the #1 pick with the strength of schedule. So this thing's still up to debate. But Tennessee, if they lose one more game, will have one of the top 2 picks.